Okay, guys, welcome to your next lesson on AutoCAD. And so today we're going to be working on example 4. And so this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a multi-view or orthographic view projection of a simple part. And so you can see the front profile, you can see the top profile, and you're going to be able to see the side profile. Okay, and you can see this one has a notch in it, and that's represented by this area up here, and it's also represented by this dashed line here. And so in order to build this in AutoCAD, what we're going to do is we're going to make some construction lines to guide us, right? So this corner right here, we're going to call our origin. We're going to be going 3 inches out. That way we can draw these lines here. Okay, then we're going to go 1 inch up, right, from that origin line. That's so we can draw these lines here. Okay, and then we may draw some other construction lines at this 1/2 inch line right here, which represents the notch. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in AutoCAD. And so the first thing I want to do, guys, is we want to save. And so let's go over here to our menu, and we're going to go to Save As, of course, and then we're going to go to Drawing. And so we're going to get this saved, right? So you're going to be opening your AutoCAD. So you're going to Desktop, you're going to PC, you're going to Google Drive, you're going to My Drive, you're going to open it up into AutoCAD. Okay, and then we're going to name this example 4. Okay, so I'm going to name it right here. I'm going to name my example 4 because I've already done this one example already. So I'm going to do my example 4 so we can start it over. Okay, and so now it's saved. And so now every time that you want to save it, we're just going to go over here and go to save. Okay, so that way we don't have to go back and forth. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw some construction lines. So we have to build those construction lines. So let's go up here to Layer Properties. Let's click on it, right? Once it's open, you're going to right click. You're going to hit New Layer. We're going to name it Construction 1. So CONST1, right? We're going to go over here to the color. We're going to put our construction lines as yellow. That's what we like. Hit OK. Now, once that's done, you're going to go ahead and close that out. And then you're going to come back over here. You're going to select that construction line layer. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to top, which is going to center our origin point. And then we're going to draw the construction line. So before we draw it, we're going to go over here to draw. And we're going to set that as construction line, which it creates an infinite line, right? So we're going to be drawing these lines in those directions. So to specify the first point, we're going to go to 0/0, enter. That's going to give us our origin, right? So we want to do a construction line going straight up and down and this direction. So we'll do that one first, then we'll do this one. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to our offset, right? And so remember what we said, we're going to offset this by 3 inches this direction. That's going to give us our space, right? So we're going to go ahead and specify our distance. So we're going to hit 3, enter. Now we're going to select this point, go 3 inches. You can see that's pretty far, right? So we're going to zoom in a little bit. Let's recenter ourselves, right? And so what we're going to do is I'm going to use this tool right here. It's called the pan tool. It looks like a little hand. And so that's going to help me to center myself onto my drawing space. So we have our 3 inch line. Okay. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a 1 inch line going up. Okay. So we're going to come back over here to our offset tool. Okay. We're going to select it, specify our distance. We're going to go 1. Wait, enter, right? And now we're going to click on this line, and that's going to be going this direction, okay? And so this is going to be the space right here where we're going to be drawing our first box, right? Which is going to be our front view, okay? So that space right there. And so we're going to do these construction lines too. So we're going to go 2 inches from our origin over, and then a 1/2 inch over from there to create 2 more, right? So while we're here, right? So select an object. Let's go back over here. We're going to specify our distance. We're going to go 2 inches. Select our object, go there, right? And then we're going to do it one more time. So now we're going to do Let's look at our sheet one more time right now. And so this is going to be a 1/2 inch. Perfect. And so now we're going to go 1/2 inch, enter. And so we're going to select this line and boom. All right. So now we have all our constructions lines done for here. Okay. And we also have our ability to do our drawing lines for our side view. Okay, so let's start drawing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here. We're going to select our drawing lines. Okay, hit OK. Let's go ahead and select it. All right, so we're going to come over here to our line tool. And so this just made it really easy, right? So we already have all our construction lines in. We know that this is 3 inches, right? We know that this is 1 inch. And we know that this is a 1/2 inch, so we're just going to be drawing our lines going. And so let's do one more construction line actually, real quick, just to make it real easy, right? Okay, and so I'm going to do a 1/2 inch line. Right, and what did it do right now? Did it do a, let's do offset, let's go 1/2 inch, right? Specify the line, let's do here. And we're going to go up. All right, so now we're ready. Okay, back over here real quick. Let's do this. Okay, so line. Let's look at our example. We're going 3 inches, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 1 inch, right? And all those are already drawn for us with our construction lines. Okay, so we're going to come in here. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, and so starting from this corner right here, make sure that you are at the intersection, okay? And we're going to draw our line. Click, 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 click. All right, you see how easy this is? And our last line. Boom. Okay, so there's our first shape. Okay, so here's our first shape. And so this is this front view. So now we're going to do our top view. Okay, and so this is going to be 1.5 inches. And then following those lines right there. Okay, so let's go with our pan tool real quick. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here to my line tool. I'm going to select a point on this line right here. There is no specified distance, right? So I'm just going to go here, 3 inches, right? And then I'm going up 1.5 inches. So 1.5, enter. Okay, and then zoom out a little bit. Get back on our line tool. So we're going from the corner right here to here, and then back down. Here we go. Now we're going to draw our 2 center lines. Those are already there for us, right? And so our 2 center lines look right like this. And so we know where those are. They're already here. We have our construction lines there. So we're going to go from here. And sorry about the mouse movement here. For some reason, when I'm working with AWS, which is the Amazon Web Service, it's kind of choppy. I think it's because of the internet. So let's go down here. Go down to that point. All right. So there's our second drawing, right? So we're already halfway through, or more than halfway through, right? And so our last one is going to be this square, and then we're going to have this line right here, and I'll show you how you're going to do that. So let's go ahead and go back to our line tool. And so we're specifying a point, and so we're just going to go from this line here straight, right? And so now we're going 1.5 inches this direction. So 1.5, enter. And then from that edge, you're going to come back up to there and then connect your lines. All right. So now we're there. Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is we have to do a dashed line right here that's going to represent this notch, right? It's showing that this notch from that side view, okay? And so it's just showing that there is a cut line inside of that figure, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a dashed line. And so in order to draw dashed lines, you're going to draw the line first, okay? So let's draw that line first. Okay, and so now what you're going to do is you're going to come up here to by layer. Okay, you're going to click on here. You're going to go to other, and we're going to load a different dash line. So you can't load any of the ISO because we're using AWD. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to use the hidden ×2. Okay, and so what the hidden ×2 represents is when somebody's looking at this drawing, they're going to know that that's a hidden line that is representing some type of notch or something that's inside of our figure. Okay, so we're going to select on it, hit OK. Okay, and now you can select that, right? So we're going to select it, we're going to hit OK. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're not selected on anything. We're going to select that line, right? And we're going to go back up here, and now we're going to select that hidden, and it's going to change it to a dashed line. Okay. And so now we have a dashed line there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off our construction lines, right? So we're going to come back over here, turn off our construction lines, and now we have our completed drawing. So now all we have to do is add our dimensions. And so let's go ahead and let's click on our origin. Let's right click. Let's turn that off, right? And let's put all our dimensions in, okay? So we're just going to start here in the corner. We know that we need this dimension here, which is 3, okay? We know that we need this dimension here, which is 1. Let's see what other dimensions we need. We need here, 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 and here. Okay, good. Okay, so let's go over here, dimensions. Let's do this really quick, okay? So we're adding the dimensions here from the corner up. I think that just made a mistake right now, so let's go back. Sometimes with the mouse, you want to really make sure that you're on your endpoints when you select it, right? Because sometimes, especially when you're using these systems, it's a little bit choppy. Let's see, we want to make sure that you're on the points. You can see how sometimes my mouse goes all over the place. All right, dimensions. All right, so we got 2 more dimensions to do on this side. Boom. Here. And our last set of dimensions. Okay, so that is all your dimensions. Now, you can see there's a little difference here, how thick the lines are, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here and hit escape. We're going to select all of our figures here. And so let's do this. So you're going to click on your left click on the mouse, and then without holding down the mouse, you're just going to select all your figures. Then you go up here by layer on the first one, and you're going to change the line weight settings. So we're going to go to line weight settings. Okay, we're using inches. Okay, and so we're going to come down here and we're going to select a little bit thicker line weight. So we're going to go to 0.014. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so You change your line weight settings. And so now what I want to do is kind of talk about how to change from 2D to 3D, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to change this document into 3D. But before we do that, we're going to go up to our save, okay? And we're going to be moving on to 3D. So what we're going to do is come down here to the little gear icon right here. Okay, and we're going to go to 3D Basics. Okay, now once you change it to 3D Basics, you're going to see that we have a different menu options up here. Okay, and so what we're going to do is you're going to select the best figure that you think can be changed to 3D. So we know that this figure is not going to be good for changing to 3D. I don't think this one is either, right? So I think the best figure to change to 3D is this figure right here, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to select that figure. So again, just click, select, okay? And then we're going to copy, and then we're going to copy it onto this side over here, okay? And we'll put it up here in the corner right here because this is where we're going to put our 3D figure, okay? Hit escape. Now what you're going to do is select those measurements that we just put in, right? Right click on them, erase them, okay? Because we're going to change this specific figure to a 3D figure, okay? And so now what you're going to do is over here, you can change the view, okay? So right now we're in the top view. So if I go like this, I might click on this bottom right here, you're going to see that we're in 2D frame. So let's go over here to the, and try to change some of this view, right? So we're going to try to pivot it, right? So you can pivot this and you can change to a different view, right? So you can change this, you can move it over. And what we want to do is you can see that we're on a 3D plane right now, okay? So we're on this 3D plane. And so what we want to do is we want to extrude this shape right here. We want to pull it up, okay? Now before we can pull it up, hit escape. Before we can pull it up, again, you have to select your entire shape that you want to pull up, right? So let's do that. Well, that didn't work, so back again. Okay, so you're going to pull it up, and you're going to type the letter J. Then you're going to hit join. Okay, and so what that did is it just changed it to one continuous figure, right? So if you go back over here, you can see that we drew separate lines, right? And so what we did was we just joined our figure together, and now we can go up to the extrude and we can pull this up to the shape that it needs to be. Okay, so let's look at how thick our line is, right? So this is 1 inch, 1 inch thick. We know that we need to pull it up 1 inch, okay? And so let's come back over here, go back up to extrude, okay? You're going to select the object to extrude, right? And so once you press extrude, you're going to hit enter, and then that gives you the option to put the depth of your object. And so we know our depth of our object from our example is 1, the height of our object, right? The depth height of our object. So we're going to bring it up 1, enter. And so this is our 3D view, okay? And so when I bring this back to the top view, right? So now, like if I want to show this from, we can go, let's do a side view here. Let's go top. Uh-oh. And so you can rotate it around by pressing the corners here. And so I can orbit around too and get the view that I want to get, right? So I can hit here. I can just rotate it around with the orbit tool, right, until I get the view that I want. Right. So I want to show off 3D view.
2 hours later.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. So let's do this. We're in top view right now, okay? And so let's go to this bottom corner right here. And so this is the view that I want to see, okay? And so what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to go up to the 2D wireframe, right? And so I'm going to select that object, right? I'm going to select that object, which is my 3D object, right? I'm going to select it. And then I'm going to come over here where it says 2D wireframe. And I'm going to go to shaded. Okay, and that's going to show me the shaded view. Okay, now you can also go to realistic view. Okay, and that's going to change it a little bit. You can go to hidden. Okay, and that's going to give you the 3D perspective. Okay, you can go to wireframe view. Okay, and that gives you the depth. Okay. And so you can see the different views over here that you want. Okay, conceptual. Okay, that shades it with some color. And then the X-ray view, the last one, kind of puts it in the perspective of that 3D, but you can still see behind. Okay, and so that's the view that we're going to use, the X-ray view. Okay, so we're going to zoom in a little bit. And so this is the view that you're going to be submitting today. Okay, this is the view that you're going to be submitting today. And so what you're going to be doing now is you're going to cut this out. I can see all of your front view, your top view, and your side view, and then I can see your 3D view. And so you're going to be cutting this out, and this is what you're submitting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something, and I will talk to you guys next time.